Good afternoon. So the next point is types of OFDM. So the types of OFDM are COFDM, VOFDM, WOFDM and Flash OFDM. Now in telecommunication, the OFDM means what? It is a orthogonal frequency division multiplexing. So in telecommunication, the OFDM is a type of digital transmission and it is a method of encoding a digital data on multiple carrier frequencies, and the OFDM has developed into a popular scheme for wide band digital communication, and it is used in the applications such as digital television and audio broadcasting, also DSL internet access, wireless network, power line network and 4G 5G mobile communication. So OFDM is a frequency division multiplexing. Here, a multiple closely spaced orthogonal subcarrier signals with overlapping spectra are transmitted to carry a data in parallel. So, the first type is COFDM. Now, what is COFDM? COFDM means coded orthogonal frequency division multiplexing. Now, it is a form of OFDM where error correction coding is incorporated into the signal. Here, it is a form of OFDM, and here error correcting coding is incorporated into the signal. So the coded orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, that is COFDM, is a telecommunication modulation scheme which divide a single digital signal across 1000 or more signal carriers simultaneously. The signal are sent at the right angle to each other, hence orthogonal, so they don't interfere with each other. COFDM is used predominantly. The coded orthogonal frequency division multiplexing splits a broadband channel into a multiple narrow. It splits a broadband channel into multiple narrow and discrete subchannel or subcarrier, and it is ideal for a terrestrial broadcasting channels such as radio and television. So in part because it can deal with high level of multipath propagation, an inherent characteristic of radio broadcasting. Multipath propagation occurs when wireless signal encounters obstructions such as tree and building and causing it to split into multiple paths. So ordinary this can cause issues such as interference or degradation. Although COFDM is adept at mitigating these challenges. So COFDM can support a single frequency network, enabling a multiple transmitter to send a same signal on the same frequency, and it can also effectively handle co-channel narrowband interference which occur when two transmitters use the same channel caused by analog carrier. So COFDM is particularly so it is well suited for two terrestrial broadcasting standard. The one is digital audio broadcasting, which is also known as DAB, and this standard is known for its resilience in handling a signal reception problem in moving cars. So digital video, second is the digital video broadcasting terrestrial, and this standard also known as DVB-T, which require high capacity and multipath tolerance to support the use of set-top TV antennas, and it can meet the requirement of both standard by modulating a data onto a multiple carriers using a frequency division multiplexing, which combine a multiple signal into a single channel. So COFDM can accomplish this thanks to three key features which reduces the interference. One is the orthogonality, second is the addition of guard interval, which introduces a short delay between the transmission, and the third is the use of error correction coding interleaving, that is a process for correcting a burst error, and a channel state information means a data about the various properties of communication link. Now what is the difference between the OFDM and COFDM? The OFDM is a technique for dividing a single channel into multiple carrier. Okay, OFDM means what? It is a technique which is used for dividing a single channel into multiple carrier, and each modulated by a low rate data stream and then allocated to user. So in this sense, the OFDM is similar to another transmission method, that is frequency division multiple access, that is FDMA. But unlike FDMA, the OFDM reduces the space between channels, by making them orthogonal to one another, and this prevents the interference between the carrier without the need to filter each carrier in the frequency. So the OFDM also uses the spectrum more efficiently than FDMA, and the COFDM is the same as the OFDM with one key difference: before signal transmission, forward error correction is applied to it, and the goal is to overcome any error in the transmission due to carrier losses caused by a channel noise and the frequency selective fading or other propagation concerns. So how COFDM works? Traditionally, the channels are isolated from each other to avoid the problem of frequency selective fading. In COFDM, this issue is resolved by using FEC coding, and this refer to the C or coded in COFDM. The uncoded OFDM does not perform well in selective channel, especially if there is a carrier that's badly affected by the interference. Simply adding a hard decision decoding to this system is insufficient. So what is required is an OFDM system with convolutional coding and soft decision decoding. So convolutional coding is popular FEC technique widely used in digital wireless communication, and it is not based on the block of bits. Instead, the output code bits are determined by a logical operation on the present bit and a small number of previous bit in a data stream. So FEC transform a certain number of bits into a large number of bits containing information redundancy. So as a result, even if a subcarrier suffers a frequency selective fading, the original data can still be recovered. So how COFDM addresses intersymbol interference in multipath propagation? In multipath propagation, a single signal is received via a multiple path with a relative delay between them. So the late arrival of the scattered portion of the signal causes a ghost image. For an integration period, if the relative delay is more than one symbol period, then the signal from the second path only carries information belonging to the previous symbol or the symbol. So it is intersymbol interference, that is ISI. So to cope with the delayed signal, the symbol rate must be reduced so that the delay spread between the first and the last received path is a small fraction of the symbol period. The FDM, that is the first step towards COFDM, divides the high rate data into multiple low rate parallel data stream, each conveyed by its own carrier. So in wireless COFDM, the symbol becomes longer and depending on the number of subcarriers used. So even when the relative delay is less than one symbol period, some ISI from the previous symbol still remains. So adding a silent guard interval between each transmitted symbol addresses this problem. So it ensures that the receiver has the time to receive a copy of the symbol arriving on a longer reflected path without overlapping with the next symbol. So the guard interval required to account for a differences in path length can be longer than the symbol. So in which case the silent period will dominate and decrease the data amount that can be sent. Now, how COFDM used today? The main reason in abroad, or we can say Europe, here it uses the COFDM is due to its ability to overcome the multipath effect. So the station transmit the same signal across many borders using a single frequency network and multiple transmitter. The single COFDM uses a multiple carrier to transmit the same signal, and it is ideal for such a network, enabling a European TV viewers to watch the same broadcast without interference. COFDM is also suitable for free digital television programming and mobile television viewing. So this is all about the COFDM. Now the applications of these are digital audio broadcasting and digital video broadcasting. Advantage of COFDM is that it offers a real benefit in the presence of isolated narrow band interfering signals. So this is all about the COFDM. Now the next is VOFDM. So this form of OFDM uses the concept of MIMO technology, multiple input, multiple output technology, and it is being developed by a Cisco system. It is being developed by a Cisco system, and it uses a multiple antennas to transmit and receive the signal so that the multipath effect can be utilized to enhance the signal reception and improve the transmission speed that can be supported. Now there are some advantages of VOFDM, like It increases the subcarrier coverage. Also, it lowers the cost of provisioning and deploying infrastructure. Also, it employs both frequency and a spatial diversity. It creates a robust processing technique for multipath fading and narrow band interference. Now the next type is WOFDM. So the concept of this form of OFDM is that it uses a degree of spacing between the channel that is the large enough that any frequency error between the transmitter and receiver do not affect the performance, and it is particularly applicable to Wi-Fi system. So, the orthogonal OFDM has been successfully applied to a wide variety of digital communication applications over the past several years, and it has been adopted as the wireless LAN standard. So, the wireless communication system are used to send the message between the two locations using the radio waves. The wideband OFDM is a variant of OFDM where the spacing between the carriers is chosen to be large enough so that any frequency error between the transmitter and the receiver are only a small fraction of the spacing and thus have a negligible effect on the performance of the system. So WOFDM is the only way broadband communication can be established with the OFDM. The WOFDM was invented by a Wayland, and it observed that in OFDM an error in the timing of the digitalization bits, that is of the analog signal received from the radio, it will become a phase offset after the FFT that can be removed through the division by the channel's frequency responses. Also, an offset in the frequency locally generated in the receiver from that transmitted will translate into a sampling error that can be tolerated. Also, an offset in the frequency locally generated in the receiver from that transmitted will translate into a sampling error that can be tolerated. So, WLAN introduced a randomizing phase into the data before it was presented to the FFT, and this randomizing through originally an encryption mechanism destroyed any sinusoid or a pulse relationship in the input to the FFT, and this reduced the dynamic range required of the transmitter amplifiers and opened the door for low cost system. So, advantage to WOFDM, where OFDM had some drawback compared to the single carrier communication system, are optical performance against multipath, less sensitive to carrier offset, optimal power efficiency of the transmitter amplifier, the average value of the slope of the phase of the frequency response is indicative of the group delay and more immune against a fading. So, advantages: optimal performance against multipath, less sensitive to carrier offset, optimal power efficiency of transmitter amplifier, more immune against the fading. So, these are the advantages. So, in the past decade, the OFDM was used for wideband data communication over a mobile radio FM channel and a digital audio broadcasting, the digital video broadcasting, and terrestrial high bit rate digital subscriber lines, asymmetric digital subscriber lines, very high speed digital subscriber lines. The WOFDM is currently implemented in EON's LiveMax family of the product for point-to-point and point-to multipoint broadband wireless access solution. So, WOFDM is the basis for wireless LAN standard. The internet has been a medium that facilitates interactive multimedia application that require increasingly a greater bandwidth capacity. The next evolution of the wireless will be in data communication application that can deliver a broadband service to anyone, anytime, anywhere. So, with the combination of high bandwidth and increase in a signal integrity, the WOFDM will open up a new market for the application.